Hey, how's it going, guys? My name's Fred here. Thought I'd start a little vlog on YouTube. I've been following many vloggers for quite a while now, most of which are, well, I should say most, a lot of which are truck drivers. And they travel and they just kind of vlog on their adventures on the road and where they've been and what they're up to. And it's pretty entertaining. So, considering I both like the editing aspects of the vlogging, technology of it, and I'm a pilot. I fly private jets, and there's not a lot of vlogs out there on that. So I thought that might be something that people might find interesting, the lifestyle of the corporate pilot, which is slightly different in a lot of aspects than an airline pilot. So I thought I would do something based on that. I'm not a spokesman in any way, shape, or form for the actual company that I work for. So therefore, I won't be discussing anything about them. I won't be showing their equipment. Zero. Nada. But for the sake of the conversation, I will say I work for Acme Airlines, a fictional airline that I'm stealing from Jeff Nielsen over at the Airline Pilot Guy podcast. If you haven't seen his podcast and you're interested in aviation, go check him out. You can find him on YouTube now. He broadcasts on video of the podcast as he's filming or making the podcast. Comments down below, yeah, leave them. If you have any, please leave the comments. The only thing I ask is that they be clean and family-friendly show. We have kids watching, and reading. And don't put anything like, "Whoa, you're fat," "You're stupid." Well, actually, you can put "you're stupid," but if you put something like, "Oh, you're fat," the response you'll get will probably be something like, "Really, Captain Obvious? How long did it take you to figure that out?" So, just be nice. Just be friendly. You can be critical. Critical's good. But being mean is not nice. I don't think so. Thought on this first video, I might just talk briefly about the schedules of the fractional industry, which is what Acme falls into. They're all slightly different, but all basically the same. I think we work at Acme. There's a number of different schedules you can have, and you pick them based on seniority. There's a normal schedule, which in our case is a 8 on 7 off, and then there's a 7 on 7 off schedule that you bid for that goes pretty senior, pays a lot less. Well, yeah, it pays a lot less money. So some people don't like it; they want the money. Some people do. And then there's a flex schedule, which is basically you'll find out on the 15th of the month prior what your schedule is for the following month. And there's rules in there on how they can schedule you, and how many days out, how many days home, and the minimum home, and the maximum out, and all that. So for your week out, your first day is your travel day. You go to work, and we use the term "we airline." And when I use the term airline, what I mean is the company is flying me on an airliner in the back as a passenger to get me to where the plane I'm going to be flying is located. So, for example, let's say I was based in Pittsburgh, it's where I live, for example, and the airplane they're going to fly me, that I'm going to be flying that week, is in, say, Miami. So they'll buy me an airline ticket, and I'll go there and fly as a passenger down to Miami to pick up the airplane then that I'm going to be flying. And then on our last day, wherever we may end up, the company will buy us a ticket home. So if I end up in Los Angeles, for example, and I'm, say, domiciled in Pittsburgh, they'll buy me a ticket back to Pittsburgh, and they have to get me home on that day. So if you're working 8 days, your day 1 and day 8 are travel days, the days that you go to and fro. Now, as busy as we've been, and I think the whole industry is, in the old days, we normally wouldn't fly on our first or last day. You'd airline out to the airplane, you'd go pre-flight it, make sure all the books, everything was in order, and then normally just head to the hotel and then have trips the following day. And if you did fly, it would just be a reposition leg to get you set up for the next day. That's another term you'll hear me use a lot. It's repo. That doesn't mean they're coming to take the plane. It means reposition, meaning we don't have any passengers. We're just hopping someplace, or in many cases flying across the country, to get in position for a trip that we need to pick up passengers. So yeah, that's how we work our travel to work. It's really nice. It's you know when you're going to be working. Now, when we're at work, we don't. It's not like an airline where you have your schedule. For the week. I'm going to be in Raleigh, Durham tonight, and San Antonio tomorrow, and El Paso the next. We never know where we're physically going to be going during that week out until and it changes. I mean, they might give us trips. Let's say it's Monday, and on Tuesday Monday night they give me trips. I'm going Pittsburgh to Allentown, picking people up, going to Fort Lauderdale, hop over to Naples, then pick people up to go to Minneapolis. Well, in the middle of the night, that could all change. We have planes that might break overnight in maintenance. They have pop-up trips added in the middle of the night. So you might wake up and you check your electronic device that contains your trips. I think everybody's using electronic devices now for at least trip information. And you're going, okay, well now we're going to Lebanon, New Hampshire, to Portland, Maine, repo to Bar Harbor, pick up passengers and go down to San Antonio. So you got to be flexible. And the other no-no in this business is never, if for example, let's say you have family in Kalamazoo, and you have a trip that ends up in Kalamazoo, and you're going to spend the night. Don't call them and tell them that you're going to spend the night in Kalamazoo at noon, because that will change. It's bad luck. It is bad luck to call people and tell them that you're going to be there. Bad luck. Don't tell people you're going to be there. I'm very geeky. I love computers and gadgets, phones, cameras, although this one stinks, I realize. So I'll also probably do a lot of tutorials on some of the tools that you can use that are free, like specific, one of the big ones, flightplan.com. So much stuff you can do in there for flight planning and weather information that a lot of people don't use. I mean, a lot of people do use it, but there's also still a lot of people that don't. And there's so many good things about it, and it's all free. I mean, you can pay. I think it's kind of a freemium setup, but most of it's, at least everything I use, is free. It's great. It's easy to use. It's fast. Simple.